actual like just stupid symbiote.
What's going on, moviegoers all over the world? My name is Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
One at Cloud X Drive.
I'm one of the Cook Radio.
Justin at Dose of Stir.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. Full table tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Man, when was the last time we did this?
Podcast.
Podcast? Oh, okay, yeah, podcast.
No, you missed last podcast.
The last two.
Oh, that's right. You were missing. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, well, anyways, guys, full crew here. This is, of course, no explanation here, guys. The villains are out. The villains are out, ladies and gentlemen. So this is our review of Venom. Venom.
I thought we were watching Legends of Craig.
Ryan's comment. Boo.
Hey, wait, we're in the,
our slogan for the movie.
hey, whoa. The world has enough of heroes.
Yeah, now we have an anti-hero.
I know, right? All right, man. So I'm gonna say that the opening of this movie, when it shows the opening title, I did not like it. It was terrible. That was uncreative on Sony's part. I didn't, it just, we get into this film already and we get into it towards action already, and it made sense. But see, it does give a little hints, guys, to, it shows respect towards the characters when it comes to, in the space pilot as well. Like, it shows respect to him. I'm not going to spoil it too much, guys, but it shows pretty good stuff in there. Another note is what I did love also was it made sense without having Spider-Man there and without having just how the story actually comes out to and how the origin of Venom is. It actually made sense for me, and it didn't go like, okay, well, this happened, or like it. I like how they did reference. They didn't have to use Spider-Man as a whole. Like, they felt like this was its own movie, and that's what I wanted, and that's what it was marketed as. And I wanted this to be, the anti-hero, and that's what we got from the trailers. That's what we got time and time again when we saw the trailers, the posters. I mean, just everything itself was Venom everywhere, and I did love it. And we did get hints of it too in the trailers too, as well as who was the villain gonna be and all this stuff. And we'll mention that in spoilers. But I mean, let's go to the facts. Tom Hardy was a great actor in this movie. I really did enjoy him in there.
I won't deny that.
Yeah, I will. I will. I really did enjoy him in here so much. I mean, just the way, just his accent. I mean, his accent alone. If you've seen him in interviews, like, it's so different from what he portrayed here. It's just phenomenal.
Puny English voice.
Hey, him, and oh my god, Benedict Cumberbatch. That's another good one too. Like, it's just the accents. I love the voices. I love it, and it's just phenomenal when you can have a high pitched British English voice, and then you just change it to like a regular, like, just could sound just like us. Mm-hmm. That's phenomenal. That's great acting on his part. Whatever. That's phenomenal on his part.
I thought my accent. like American. It sounds like American.
Yeah, like it kind of like took its toll, and I was like, okay, well, how is it gonna be Venom without Spider-Man? Because that was the number one question on everyone's mind when this movie was announced. Like, how is Venom without Spider-Man, or how is it going to connect with it? And that was the main problem, especially for comic book lovers all over the world. I mean, just knowing that knowledge and knowing the comic book history of it. So I'm going to say also that the sequences, the way this film was projected, the way it was edited, when you go into the editing room with Tom Hardy already clarifying on that, there was like, over 7 hours of footage?
7 to 9 hours.
Yeah, 7 to 9 hours of footage. This is what we got. This is what Sony wanted, and this is what Tom Hardy and all the director and all the producers, the editors, this is what they wanted. And I'm gonna say it was a decent film for me. But I mean, there's so many wrong things in this movie, and I'm not gonna mention it just yet. Yeah. Ruben Fleischer, he's done Zombieland. Yeah, you know how good that movie is.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, he did Zombieland, Two Night Stand,
so
Gangster Squad.
Sense.
So I mean, just the history alone's not.
Gangster Squad was pretty good.
I think I seen that one.
That was terrible.
I like your opinion because, like I said, it's an opinion of someone who's not too familiar with this side of the comics. Because I know you're a DC guy, and I'm a Marvel guy. Yeah. I'm a big Spider-Man guy, especially I'm a big Venom guy, and that's why I wanted to hear your opinion first. Because I when I noticed in the theater that there was people who you could tell were not
knowledgeable.
Big knowledge.
What did we say? 10%.
They weren't. Yeah, they weren't knowledgeable on this, and you were hearing that as soon as you were walking out. I like this and I like that, and like it's like, oh yeah, I love this part, and I saw it to where like, you know what, like it was a good movie for people who don't follow this storyline or don't follow this character itself or this side of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
I will say that. As far as someone who I cherish this man, this creature.
Piggy bank.
I will say this. You ever get that feeling like when you're at a restaurant and the waiter's coming and he's got this big old platter of like food, right? No. He's coming, right? And then you're like, oh yes, finally, I'm hungry, I'm starving. And then he passes and it's the next table. That's how I felt for this film. My hopes were like super high for this film, but shame on me for thinking that Sony would have made this the film that I wanted. It wasn't. Yeah. There was stuff in there that was like, it made me cringe.
A lot. And when it comes to stuff like this, and when it comes to comic book movies, it's just, let's be honest, it's not page by page when it comes to the movies. It's not gonna be like that as much as we all want, as much as I want it. And when Christopher Nolan, we're like, but you gotta remember, it has to be an entertaining movie. It has to be entertaining to not just comic book lovers, but also regular moviegoers / non-moviegoers.
But the movie's marketed for comic book goers.
Yeah.
I would say it's marketed. I would say it's marketed towards moviegoers. I wouldn't say comic.
Using let's go character from a comic book.
Let's go. Let's go back to when they first announced this movie. What did Tom Hardy and the director say? We're taking this straight out of Lethal Projector and the Planet of Symbiotes, and everybody was like, "Dude, hell yes, that's what we want." Mm-hmm. And what did we get? Nothing. We got pieces.
San Francisco,
and
we got Riot.
We got Riot.
With the knowledge that there's a planet of symbiotes
and the somewhat plot of Planet of Symbiotes. The somewhat plot.
Okay. So it's a lot of gaps. A lot of gaps.
I like you said, you liked the beginning. The whole spaceship. I hated that.
Yes, exactly. When I first saw space, I was like, okay, you know what?
Well, you know what? It's not really a spoiler, but they did show respect to James Jameson when they said what was his name? The pilot's name? Jameson. Like that, they mentioned
That's his son.
Yeah, they mentioned it. So that they showed respect towards and to that factor. But it just obviously the Spider-Man was gonna come crawling in when the space crafted into New York. It didn't happen like that, obviously. So they just had to show that respect towards him, even though he died. It was like, oh, okay, respect.
Yeah, I mean, like to be honest, like I thought when I saw space, I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. I thought a meteor was gonna crash. I seriously thought that was.
That's what I would hope. I would have preferred.
And then I see a spaceship. I'm like,
okay. When I saw the spaceship labeled Life, I thought it was a good Easter egg to the Life movie with Ryan Reynolds.
I get what
because they said it was kind of a unofficial prequel, and so
they didn't need it.
But see, I mean, when this film was going and it was going, I just felt like that. In all respect, I felt like Venom was showed too late. Because I felt like it was showed too late in the part that he actually came out came out in the suit. And I felt like it was revealed too late. I felt like it was already like, okay.
It was like 45.
It's like we know.
I checked my watch at a point to see how long it was.
It was on him for like what? I want to say like, a good 20 minutes before we actually saw like the actual,
the full body?
The full body, which I really, to be honest, I would have been happy if he would have showed full body when he first encountered a problem, a situation, a circumstance. I really wanted him to show up. Just take over. Don't even say anything to Eddie. Just be like, or just tell Eddie I'm taking over or like whatever, But in all respect, though, I love how they're doing it though, because now everyone's gonna make that Venom voice now, and then everyone's just gonna be like, Venom, I'm Venom. Or like,
one thing I will
Sony
take
taking
away...
a book from Batman.
I will take away from this movie that although it wasn't, my expectations were shot down so much from this. I will say that it sort of makes up big time for the way that Venom looks compared to Spider-Man 3. And of course the casting for Eddie Brock himself.
Eric Foreman. We got Eric Foreman.
Yeah, we got Eric Foreman.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. But no, yeah, as far as the movie goes, man, it was like I said, it was a big letdown. Venom and Riot look fantastic. I love the way they looked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And then,
Charlie.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. I'll mention it in the spoilers, but yeah, I was gonna throw something.
I know. Wait.
My bad. Because you saw me at one point in the movie like that, but yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was great. I had really high expectations. It's not what I wanted, but I agree it takes pieces from everything. But I think it could have been a little bit more retrospective of Venom was just kind of too. I felt like his scenes were too short. Like, we got enough Venom. I'm glad it wasn't just like at the end he pops up. That's it. Like we get more of him, but the whole movie felt rushed to me.
Okay.
For being 2 hours, it felt rushed. It was like this, all going on at the same time.
The character development was just, I didn't see it there.
Okay, I
didn't see anything. I didn't see anything.
No.
I saw Eddie this exact same way. I mean, it just, even in non-spoiler, I mean, just spoiler or not spoiler, he's in the same situation as he is in the end. Doesn't make sense to me. There's no character development whatsoever. It's like it's just Eddie and Venom together walking around. Like, it's just boring to me. It fell short for me so bad. And Sony, it was just, what are y'all doing? Like, it's a mess over there. Like, y'all need to figure out what y'all doing. You gotta figure out what message y'all are giving out to comic book lovers, to moviegoers. Because it's just, to moviegoers, I think moviegoers are more likely gonna like this more than comic book lovers. And just because, the way it's written, obviously, in the comics, and it's totally different. But I mean, it's just Sony, man. It's just, they're just on that little spree where it's just like they almost got it. I'll say you almost hit the high note. It just, what I'm gonna say though is that this movie is decent for what we got at the time we're living in right now.
They had a good idea, but they could not pull the trigger and make it the movie that everybody wanted.
Yeah, was this the film we deserve, guys?
No. It hurts that I said that, but no, it was not.
It's funny too because we were actually really excited for this, and we were anticipating this.
I was excited.
We were so excited for this movie, and just the high expectations that you guys had were different from ours, obviously. So I mean, it was just, I didn't have too much of a high expectation for this movie. I was just like, I hope it's enjoyable. I hope it's good, and I hope it shows potential for other villains to come out as the anti-hero. But story-wise, though, I'm kind of, I don't want to say heartbroken, but I'm kind of like, just like, this movie, it had potential, so much potential when it comes to the story, to the writing. I felt like this movie was just taking little snippets of the comic and just be like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, let's put that in there. Oh, okay, yeah, let's add that in there. Like, let's just add this in there, let's add this in there, and let's add this in there. And then, it'll make sense. We'll just take this little scene from the comic book strip and then we'll just add it towards the movie and make it sense. I feel like there was no passion when it comes to it, besides Tom Hardy. All respect to Tom Hardy, guys. I mean, he's phenomenal. I mean, he played the best Eddie Brock he could play at this time of age.
If they didn't have Tom Hardy playing him, the movie would have been like...
Yeah, I don't think it would have been as good.
Eric Foreman 2.0.
Like, I would not think it would have been that good whatsoever. Ratings, Kodak, should I go to get it started, man?
A 3, dude.
Dude, what? Are you kidding me? A 3?
It was a 3. The movie felt so flat for me.
Wow. Wow.
I hated the whole love interest. I hated the characters.
Yeah, see, okay. So I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. No, I'm not missing spoilers, but I'm not the only one. That love interest was just, why was it there?
I hate
Why was, okay, I understand in the beginning of the movie, Sony, but why was it there throughout the movie? Doesn't make any sense.
Why in the beginning of the movie?
I'm okay with the beginning.
The relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom, I hated that relationship compared to the comics.
Okay.
I hated so many things about this movie.
Okay.
We'll go over it in our spoilers.
Okay, that's what you're holding on. That's why you're quiet right now. Okay, that's why you're quiet.
So in our text messages, I said I was going to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8.
Okay. That's reasonable. Justin?
I'm only giving it a 5 because of the way that Venom looked. Like I said, a lot better than great look.
Yeah, the
great
CGI.
look.
I give them praise, high praise on the CGI, because the CGI itself, the symbiote suit, the way it was designed, I loved it so much.
That's Probably the that and the casting for Venom, Tom Hardy's casting.
Okay.
I give that a 5.
Okay.
The one thing I will lead off on is that this movie, although like I said, a letdown, it keeps me hopeful that Sony will see the wrong that they did and listen to everybody, which I probably know they won't. But
Well, I mean, they fixed the symbiote in the trailer, so they might.
Yeah, because everybody raised a huge stink about it. But
So they might.
I see this as a stepping stone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna look at all the reviews and they're gonna see all the all the negative stuff about it, and I'm hoping that they do correct this. And I'm hoping that they go to Marvel Studios and they ask them, what can we do to make this better? Yeah.
So before you say yours real quick,
okay, go ahead.
did the CGI feel off to anybody when the symbiotes were moving around?
No.
The only time
it was
felt
good.
off
It was actually really
in
good.
that scene they already leaked it. Not leaked it, but they showed it. That first action scene we get
Yeah.
with him,
Yeah, the first one.
with the smoke. That one felt.
Yeah, that one.
Right?
Little.
Like, so when it went from host to host,
I didn't watch that one,
the
so
CGI was just
I
off
waited for the movie.
me.
So.
No, I mean, I felt like when they were going host to host, the CGI was actually good. It was the way it was like moving towards another host. I feel like it was really detailed. I feel like it was the best we could get out of it.
It just felt off to me.
Okay. What I also I'm gonna have recognition for is Riz. He's the one, and we actually just saw him from the Sisters Brothers. Well, movie we saw yesterday.
He's a good actor.
And
I would
man,
agree he's a good actor.
he's a really good short actor. I mean, high praise to the short people out there. I mean, just I love it so much. Yeah, all
4 of us.
I love it, man. I love it, especially this guy to be very like, because obviously he's in the villain, it's in the trailers. To be that kind of villain against Tom Hardy and to have your height and the projection he gave out and the presence he gave was really great on his behalf. I will say this, but as far as just when it comes to obviously the symbiote, it's obviously not as in control, but I am gonna say though is that like, I mean, his acting was really good in this movie and the Sisters Brothers guys, but yeah, so my rating's gonna be a 6. And that's been really, really, really generous just because of what Tom Hardy did. And of course, this Riz guy. I keep thinking of him as the pilot from Rogue One because he's always going to remind me. Yeah, he's the pilot from Rogue One. He's always going to remind me of that. I just love him in that. And just because I love Rogue One so much. But alrighty, guys. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. As always, I am your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan680.
One at Cloud X Drive.
One the cook radio.
Just an add dose of stir.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to check us out on our YouTube page, Podbean, iTunes, everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got a podcast. We got a lot of love out there, guys. Also, Venom spoilers review, guys. Check it out. You want to. Be sure to, don't try to share it too much. You don't want to spoil it for everybody
We're
out there.
slicing it and dicing this. You're slicing the movie.
All right, guys. You have a wonderful day.
Wake up, wake up.